Is too many patients a problem? Who would have thunk it that you could have too many patients? When dentists want new patients from a marketing company, they say, I'd like infinity new patients. But I'm here with Dr. Christian Mullen, awesome new practice owner, looking for an associate to share in the joy of his dentisting on Dentist Job Connect. Christian, thanks for being here with us. Give us a little bit of your story. I admire it. You're a new dentist, a new practice owner, and now you're ready to hire an associate. How did you fast track all of this?
Man, oh man, I couldn't have done it without my team. Let's see, I graduated in 2020 from University of Maryland. Did a residency at East Carolina University, AGD, for a year. I worked at a DSO for 13 months and then bought a practice in September of 2022. We are at month something 9, maybe. It's flying by very quickly. But basically my wife is also a dentist, and we bought an 8-op practice, and with the hopes that, hey, I'll let it float for a couple years and get you in when you're out of the Navy. And it turns out we've grown the practice way quicker than I thought it was going to grow. And there's no way I can.
I have a few things to unpack here as I hold my failed dream playing professional basketball. That's what I really want to do. If I was better at this, I wouldn't be here. If this is a backup dream, Christian. I want to unpack a few things. I'm going to start at the end and go backwards. Yeah. What's been the catalyst for this growth? You bought a practice that did like 1.15 million. Sounds like it's like kind of right out of the solid senior age dentist playbook, right?
Yeah.
But so those practices traditionally you might not be able to grow that quickly. What has been this catalyst for 9 months of growth?
Man, I think that, God, I think that's a pretty multifactorial question. So I have a coach. I actually have multiple coaches that I work with. I work with Fortune Management, Ryan Plant out in Virginia Beach. And then I also work with a leadership coach, Tim Wakeham, who helps me kind of be the best leader that I can be. I think having a strong vision really kind of catapulted our practice to where it is now. I mean, I could not do this without my team.
I love that. You're a funny guy like me. You don't take yourself too seriously, but you take helping people seriously. So sometimes at Nachos, there's a lot of yelliness, like coaches are here to rip you off, right? So like and I'm proud to ask you this question. What inspired you to hire a coach so early in your journey? I mean, you get a lot of credit for that. Why did you wait 4 or 5 years till you were just doing everything difficult and hired a coach? How did you get one early in your career?
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of stems from when I grew up. I played soccer for a long time.
Yeah.
I had coaches all my life and ended up playing college soccer. I always found the benefit of having a third party perspective, see something that I
love it. But the thing you said there, Christian, if I can just interject, is if you're playing basketball or soccer, you just can't be evaluating yourself playing basketball or soccer. Someone has to be standing on the side, helping you look at your game. And they don't have to be a dentist, right? I mean, it's just somebody saying, here's some weaknesses, here's your strengths, here's opportunities. And I played a lot of sports. I didn't play college soccer. My friends did, but it's the same thing, right? It's just a normal feeling to get all this feedback from people who care about you. But it's not always feedback you want to hear. So I think, doing that's awesome. You're also a member of the DSN. They're an awesome sponsor of the group. I always think of the DSN, I say it's like a gateway decision to better decisions, right? I told someone a year out of their AGD, freaking join the DSN. It's $200 a month. Get a Nacho discount through us. People can reach out to me for that. But it's a group of people that you want to pay attention to. How has the DSN helped you?
Man, I mean, that is such a good point. So I work with Fortune Management, who's technically a direct competitor to DSN. But it's so nice to have different perspectives, and it's so worth that $200 a month. If you're a new grad, it's the best money you'll ever spend because you can see how real practice owners think, problems that they go through, the solutions that they come up with, how they're thinking about businesses and how to be sort of this black belt level coach, Mark Costas. He's amazing, with just his systemization and just everything he's kind of put into the to DSN, as well as Addison Colleen. So definitely shout out to them. But yeah, I mean, it really has helped me kind of think about things differently. When I potentially had a problem, someone had a solution. And so if it was a problem, someone's gonna have had the problem in the past. And it's easy to just ask. You just got to be vulnerable enough to ask the question.
And it's a great group to be vulnerable in, because even though we're on a free, about to pass 50,000 member Facebook group, my free community here has challenges of sharing things that are, I don't want to say private, but it's just like, it's a group that people have your back. I'm in it. I went to dental school with Dr. Jason Tenori. So when he is not doing push-ups on a volcano, he's in the group telling you how he runs his giant group up there in an authentic way. So you get to learn from all these people that you see have the same struggles, but they can help you streamline solutions and just make you feel less alone. So I love that you're sharing this. And through all these things, you now have grown your practice by 40%, right?
Yeah.
And let's bring us back to, you got too many patients, right? Tell us about that.
So yeah, we don't do, well, we signed up.
Actually, you don't, how about this? Let's put it this way. You don't have enough dentists. You might have enough patients, that'd be great. You don't have enough dentists.
So we have a capacity issue where we have the operatories, but I'm maxed out with what I am capable of doing from a quality of dentistry standpoint and an ethical standpoint.
Right.
I pride myself on that, but yeah, we signed up with Lasso in, I think, November, right after your event.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm going to interrupt this program for a thing. So Christian, I've always admired him. I saw him at the DSN last year. And I said, hey, Christian, you're a great young dentist. And I'm going to give you a free ticket to see one of the best dentists on planet Earth, right? So I'm going to give you the opportunity, a free ticket for you and your wife. Your wife's way better than you. She's awesome.
Much more attractive than me.
And this is a really good story. So I said, oh, Christian, I'm going to give you this thing. Stand in the room with Jason. You freaking just standing in the room with Jason Smith and make someone a better dentist. He's going to, for a full day, he's going to do this. And you go, thanks, Paul. But what? You didn't want to take off a Monday, right? You go, you can't take off Monday.
Back up. You didn't, this is not enough context here. This was month, I think, 1 in industry land.
Totally.
Owning a practice in month 1, that's scary. You're saying, hey, team, I'm going to take off next Monday. And you're like, what's going on?
But I said, I got your back. I've been there before. Yeah. What was the solution? I said, go tell your team this. What did I tell them to tell you? Go say this to your team.
Oh, man. I have no idea.
Well, I said, go tell them you have the opportunity to learn how to be a better dentist, help everybody in this place. Here. I asked if you're off on Fridays. So I said, you could suggest to your team, hey guys, do you want to work an extra day on Friday? I don't know if that happened or not.
Yeah, but I definitely did not.
Yeah. And they probably were thrilled to be off on that Monday.
They were.
You came to this event, and I'm just glad, because at this event, we were just talking for the Zoom. What is the magic of face-to-face events? You met Lasso there, you met Jason Smithson. Why should new dentists get their faces out there to events? What benefit does that have to them?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, in addition to the Jason Smithson thing, we met Lasso, our marketing company, and they came out a couple months ago, so they revamped their website. But the only marketing we're doing is the website, and we get 40 new patients a month every month. We have no paid marketing right now other than the website.
And I think it's amazing, but it's also a frustration. I just got off with someone from Vermont who has 4,000 patients, and it's him and a part-time associate, and he has 50 new patients a month. He says, what happens is I wind up not being able to help my existing patients because I'm doing these big treatment plans. And I say, I'll get to your one surface filling, never, right? And so now you're in this place where you've grown your practice, coaching, doing well. But let's talk, we talk about the car or boat, need versus want. You need an associate. If you had someone working with you in Virginia, how many days a week would you ideally like them to commit to the Christian Mullen Success Program?
So I'm a big believer in transparency and just open and honest conversation. I think that at least at the start, it would be 3 days. And I'm confident we could, again, we're turning away new patients. My front desk, this is an aside, but my front desk, she comes up to me the other day. She goes, "Oh yeah." I said, "Hey, Jude, do you know if like are new patients calling and stuff like that?" She goes, "Oh yeah, we've had to turn a lot away." I'm like, "Why am I? This is the first time I'm hearing."
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, we're turning new patients away. So 3 days realistically would be, we would definitely be able to fill their schedule, and I'm willing to, give hygiene checks and help support the associate with whatever that means. And I know my hygienist would appreciate that too.
Yeah. So we're talking about 3 days. You're going to pay a daily guarantee.
Yes,
They're going to have an opportunity to make more as they build their schedule.
for
But you
sure.
also said something cool the other day when I was leaving Nacho headquarters. We were texting. You
Yeah,
really want to mentor this person, which sounds kind of crazy because you were just in dental school
I
in
know.
2019.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't mentor someone. What does that look like to you? Someone says, "Hey, I can do these 3 days, but maybe I want to own a practice one day. I would love to learn about ownership." What is this bonus guac that you could infuse into the associateship?
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of and the benefit, and I know you've talked about this in the past, is group being a part of a group because you can bounce ideas off each other,
Yeah.
right? I think at the end of the day, what I can help with, and I'm not posing myself as an expert by any means, but I've read a ton about, you know, practice ownership. I'm doing it now. I've made mistakes. I can share those mistakes. And I'm open, honest, and I want to help people grow. That's what kind of fills my cup.
Great.
And so helping another person to be able to potentially purchase their own practice, that would be super cool, in my opinion. And I think that at the end of the day, that would make me feel really good. Just to
Yeah,
help.
I love that. This is what dentistry is more about. And you're new into this practice journey, but being a solo practice owner is like being a solo parent of a 4-year-old that never grows up. And
Yeah.
maybe right now you're on the energy high of first year practice ownership, second year practice ownership, but staring down year after year after year of not having another licensed dentist in the building. It actually doesn't matter if you make 7 figures a year. It doesn't matter if you take great CE and you can do full mouth rehabs. When I say this to my team all the time. I said the other day, I go, "Oh, we have dental warranty, a sponsor, and they needed some verbiage stuff." And we sat down and they liked it. And they said, "We're going to do better because of you, Paul, now." And I said, "Okay, could you help me with my job?" I go, "Oh yeah, that's illegal, right?" They can't go in and do a filling. They can't go in and do, so you could be surrounded by an amazing team, hygienists, front desk team members, assistants, but they cannot do the thing because of a license. And it's just very overwhelming. I practice as a solo GP 1 day a week on Thursdays in our satellite practice. It was my most stressful day of the week. And all I was doing was like fillings, emergencies, implant crowns, and hygiene checks. But I was just running around and I was the only person who could do things. So we need to get you some of this. Now, I want to ask you about when you look to an associate, what are some qualities if someone's watching that you would like to see? Doesn't mean this is not the word, but like, what is something that you would like to see in your associate?
Just like an eagerness to learn. I think one of our top core values, continuous learning, having a sense of humor, take life too seriously. Dentistry is very stressful enough. If you can come to work and we can laugh every day, that is my dog. But
That's great. I like it though. Tilly comes on and bring her on. What's her name?
yeah, her name's Lonnie.
Lonnie, that's great. We see Golden Doodle crew. Oh man, this is awesome. Hey, Lonnie, she's too cute.
I think just being flexible, being humorous, and just having a good time at work is, that makes a stressful job of dentistry less stressful and not a job. It makes it more fun and it makes it exciting to come to work rather than a drag. You know what I mean?
I always say this, and I hope I strive my best to create environments for people to feel this way about me. Not everybody stays on your bus your entire life for a variety of reasons. People move on, it's not for them. But I always say, hey, I want people to want to walk into work, right? They might rather want to walk into a spa, or they might want to walk in and have margaritas, but I want them to want to walk into work. So I want to keep you for a few more minutes, but I want to catch people up. Talking with Dr. Christian Mullen, dentistjobconnect.com. Position in Virginia. You can text VA to 215-798-9897 to find out more about it. But rarely is this talked about. You know, you're a practice owner, 2023, you were a dental student in 2019. Tell me about 2020. Tell me about why you did an AGD and what benefits. And if a D3 was watching right now saying, I want to run out into the real world, I want to start working, I want to start making money, DSO XYZ is offering me 220 grand a year, mentorship. It doesn't mean that's wrong, but I just want to hear from you. Why did you decide to do an AGD and what kind of value has that had for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that an AGD was, I went to Maryland, which was a good clinical school, in my opinion. I had a good experience there. Even though there was a ton of specialties, it was overall a great experience. I felt like I could go out in private practice, but I felt like if I went out and I did an AEGD, I would be that much more confident to do much more complicated procedures. Yes, it was a short-term sacrifice for a longer-term gain. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, you know, now if a patient comes in with pain with a molar root canal, I'm not like terrified of opening the tooth up. I can open the tooth up if I want to. I just normally don't have time to, but I can if I need to. And so it just gave me the confidence to be able to, one of the reasons why I got into dentistry was it was a full mouth rehab actually. And the guy came in and he got his temps on and he started crying, right? Yeah. Well, I looked at the dentist and I said, I want to be a dentist. And I wanted to be able to do, if someone walked in my door with a problem, I wanted to be able to help them with my own hands. So that's my why for being a dentist, and really a short version, but I felt like an AEGD could help me get there.
I mean, as someone who does this and going to go to lecture the residents next week, and I'm a huge fan of, you know, my dad had been a dentist for many years, and he said, Paul, go and do this GPR thing. You can come and work with me anytime. He goes, the mentorship in the real world does not look like what it looks like in an AGD or GPR. You have dentists there that are able to walk into an operatory and tell you, hold this way, do the flap this way, look this way, and the patients don't freak out. And you really learn how to learn in an AGD or GPR. And I'm not saying that you cannot be an excellent dentist without that, but it is an awesome experience at the right time in your life. And it's an ability to push your comfort zone, like Mark Costas talks about,
right,
with somebody having your back. And that doesn't exist in private practice in the same way. It just doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. So, I mean, it allowed me to do the type of dentistry that I do efficiently as I do. And I mean, it was a great experience, and I would definitely do it again.
I love that. And as we kind of bringing this full circle, talking with Dr. Christian Mullen of Dentist Job Connect, one of our clients, dentistjobconnect.com, is an awesome position in Virginia. Now we're just filling in this last gap as we wrap up. You do the AGD and then you become a practice owner, not in a judgmental way. I'm more just curious. Yeah. Tell us about some of the ups and downs of that 13-month associateship.
Yeah, I was at a DSO. It was actually a great experience. It allowed me to kind of get my feet wet a little bit. But it, you know, anyone that knows me, I've been listening to, you know, Mark Costas and Dentalpreneur, you know, all these podcasts I mean, like Shared Practices, a ton of podcasts since pretty much D1 year. I've been fairly entrepreneurial my whole life. And so I always knew I wanted to be a practice owner, but yeah, I mean, the 13 months in the DSO was a good learning experience. I love the people that I work with. But you know, I wanted to form my own vision, my own culture, my own mission, my own core values. And, you know, they were different than where I was at. And I think there's something to be said about that. One thing about our practice is that we have a deep and a strong vision, core values, and a mission. And I think at the end of the day, that's really what makes our team so awesome, is that everyone lives it.
And you're the leader doing it. So I always, you know, want to reinforce, I always say I don't repeat myself, reinforce that what you're doing as a role model for newish dentists is awesome. I do, your main thing to take home is just when Paul Goodman tells you go to a CE course, just go, don't TSD them, just go. I'm just joking. And your position here, someone would be lucky to work with you. So I've shared how people can reach out to us, but Christian, if someone just saw this and wanted to email you, text you, what is the best way for someone to get in contact with you?
Yeah, I mean, text is probably the easiest, to be honest. I can give out my personal number. I don't really care.
Sure.
Blow up my phone, whatever you want.
All right, cool.
517-974-0690.
Awesome.
Text after 8 p.m. because I'm a grandfather.
So what time do you get up in the morning?
Usually about 6. I'm not Mark Costas.
That's pretty good. My wife with it, she is at 10 hours. I like that, or you're maybe not fully asleep by then.
I average 8 hours a night, and I'm sticking to that.
I like that. That's great. Well, thanks, Kristen. Thanks for bringing your dog on. I know I'm going to see you soon in person. And thanks so much for supporting Dentist Job Connect.
No problem. See you later.